Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I brought you guys a brand new video today. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield and some potential leaks and rumors that have spread across the internet. Now, after Sword and Shield was announced, there have been just an onslaught of different rumors and ideas and theories and speculation, possible leaks that have kind of spread, and this one is probably one of the most interesting ones. There was some kind of question marks raised. I guess this thread was posted and then it was deleted and then it was posted again and taken down and all sorts of crazy stuff, which is sometimes a sign of something and other times a sign of nothing. However, I thought this was pretty interesting and had some concepts in it that would make me very happy, and it's fun to talk about, so I'm going to discuss them in this video. Now, as always, we're going to tread with caution and realize that this could totally be untruthful, or some of it could be untruthful, or some of it could be true, and we don't know at this point until we get more information. But this could be one of the ones that we look back on and we're like, that was actually not too shabby. So I thought it was kind of fun to talk about, and we'll break it down in this video. If you like these kind of videos, these speculation videos, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you guys are new, as I do post Pokemon videos and content pretty much every single day. And I want to let you guys know, moving forward, as we approach the launch of Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is most likely about 9 months away, I will be doing a lot of speculation videos. It's one of the most fun things for me, and I really enjoy just talking about Pokemon and the new games and what is possible and coming up with ideas and all that stuff. So if you're not interested in that kind of content, then maybe this channel isn't for you, but I'm going to be doing a lot of the speculation type videos, as well as my other content. We're going to be doing our battles and all that other stuff too, but, you know, just wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up. But anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into things here. So the first thing we have is a map here, and it's detailed out a little bit with some different things going on. And actually, can I flip a button here? Is that gonna make things look nice? Perfect. So there's a couple different interesting things here that we have this map, and this person who posted is gonna characterize a lot of things. So let's start. Localization leaker is back. So only posted once. So here we go. Explanation of the areas marked on the map. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of scrolling back and forth. These areas are completely explorable. So it kind of details number 6, number 1. All these areas are completely explorable, which is very interesting to note. The larger area doesn't open up until the player has 6 badges. So this actually goes to our map breakdown, where this middle area with the lakes and everything like that, that's not going to be available. We're going to just assume that everything in this thread is true, obviously, the way I'm going to talk about it. But again, I want to just throw that potential disclaimer that it might obviously be fake. But number 1, that whole big block in the middle of the map here. Let me see if I can actually make my mouse show up here. Is there a way to get my capture cursor? There, I can get my mouse now. Okay, so this big area right here is very interesting because I have a feeling that this may be something that we skip, and that's what this leaker is saying, that you start in number 1, you're gonna take a train, which looks like right about here. You take the train up and you kind of skip that and you go up to 5 here, which is what I actually said in my map breakdown video anyway, so I kind of feel like this is very possible, but this whole area right here is not accessible until later on in the game. Cities marked 2 and 3 are the final 2 gyms, so I believe that's here, and I don't know where the 3 marking is. I guess it's here, which is the main city, which is interesting that I would think that this would be a little earlier, but if you read the rest of this post, it really details that. There's a lot of back and forth. The story revolves around House Shield and House Sword, which are based in these 2 cities. Okay, so one house is based in here, and one house is based here. House Sword and House Shield. So it makes me think a lot of Game of Thrones, but also I think Skyrim, like the Imperials and the Stormcloaks. The leaders of each house are the final 2 gym leaders. So that's kind of interesting. So that really makes sense, right? If those are the 2 last gyms that you face, and one of them is the leader of Team Sword and the other one's the leader of Team Shield, and the 2 are fighting it out for some reason, which this explains later. 4 is the major city that gets the PC, that the PC gets to via train skipping most of the map. So I'm assuming, I don't see 4 actually labeled. I don't even know where 4 is, but I'm assuming you start here, and like I said, you kind of jetty your way up to 5. Maybe they made a typo, but you work down through the map to the main open area through the course of the game. Elite 4 is the city in this gym. Elite 4 play a major role in the story, as the gym leaders. The Galar map is deceptive. This is a huge pair of games, and I believe that too. I think that this map, and we talked about this again in my map breakdown, which I'll put in the description, I think that this map is deceiving in the sense that it doesn't look that big, but I have a feeling that this region is going to be massive. 5 is the Safari Zone, which uses Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee catch mechanics and encounters, which I think is interesting. So they're saying that 5, which is this area here, I don't know if I necessarily believe this part. This part is probably one of the sketchier things. It says that this is an area where you're gonna do the Safari Zone type thing. I don't know, I thought maybe 1 would make more sense for that, but again, 6 is additional post-game content with artifacts removed from the promo map, so this is it. So this is additional post-game over here on the left-hand side. which is interesting. Stars indicate the gym locations, and 7 is the Longman of Wilmington concept, which is sadly not explorable. So 7's up here. We saw that in the trailer. Oh, this is where the grass type gym is actually. So maybe this is the Safari Zone. I don't know. But either way, this is 7 up here, which is the man on the hill kind of thing, and we saw that it didn't look explorable from the trailer, so that didn't seem too surprising there. Post-game stuff here, and then talking about what was the last thing? The stars indicate the gym locations, which does mean that there would be a gym here, which is interesting. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but that house does look pretty interesting up here. We saw that we assumed a gym would be here. We assumed a gym would be right here for the grass type gym, a rock type gym, fairy type gym. I mean, these are all pretty fair. This one right here, though, was not marked. I thought this was gonna be a gym, so maybe instead of this being a gym, this is a gym down here. So those two might have flopped from my previous speculation. Here's some story explanation, and this is where things get kind of interesting. The gym leaders are either aligned with House Sword or House Shield. So remember, there's one team leader for House Shield and one team leader for House Sword, and they both run one of the gyms, the final 2 gyms. The first 6 gyms can be taken on in any order, which would be the first steps towards what I wanted to be an open world Pokemon game. And if you ask me the one thing I wanted, well, maybe not the one thing, but there was a couple little checks that I wanted for this game before it was announced. One was Pokemon following you, another was Pokemon in the overworld, and the third was an open world Pokemon game, or at least somewhat open world. I'd want replayability, and I want a game that I can just do whatever I want and just play the game. And I've been playing Skyrim lately, and it has a lot of memories. And I know there's those people out there who are like, aDrive, not every game has to be open world, and I totally understand that. But I really think Pokemon has so much potential in that realm of open world games, and that's what really takes it from being an awesome game to the best game of the year. That's what I honestly think. So anyway, this is saying that the two, there's House and Shield, the first 6 gyms can be completed in any order, which is a very interesting concept. The final 2 gyms, Sword and Shield, are vice versa. The story revolves around House Sword and House Shield wanting control of the Galar region. Strong North versus South theme, so that's kind of interesting. House Shield and House Sword both consider themselves following the path of the patron legendary Pokemon. So there's a Sword legendary and a Shield legendary, and they follow the two, and that's what split the region. North and South, Shield and Sword, the 2 gym leaders that are fighting for control of the region. Fairly predictable defense and offense concept for House Sword and House Shield and their grunts and personas. So you have the House Sword team, which is using more offensive Pokemon, the House Shield team, which is using more defensive Pokemon. I love this. I hope this is real, dude. I love this idea. It's so good. Whoever came, I mean, I think of like what's popular in mainstream right now, and you think of like your Game of Thrones, which is about to come out, and I'm a big Game of Thrones guy, and like there's a lot of elements there, but like why not? That's what's cool right now. That's what's popular. Why wouldn't they do that? The Pokemon Battle Royale's coming out, dude, pretty soon, right? Anyway, Elite Four essentially help the PC unite Galar throughout the story, so the Elite Four is there to kind of oversee the region and help unite the 2 teams, and there's a large amount of post-game in the main city, so that hopefully doesn't really give us much. But here's some interesting stuff. So major mechanics. So here's some different major mechanics, and this is really the last bit of information here that this post has. So they are experimenting with a quest system. First Pokemon game with a quest log. I think that's totally believable. They've had miniature quests in the past, like, hey, show me a Meowth, I'll give you 1,500 Pokédollars or whatever. This could actually be the first time we've seen quests. There's some fan-made Pokemon games that have quests involved. They're awesome. Gyms don't become available until certain quests become completed for that gym leader. That's really cool, and that could make it so you travel around the region a lot, and that's what I want. Like, I want to be able to, even if it's annoying fetch quests, like, you know, the gym leader at the bottom of the map says, hey, like, I need you to go catch me this particular Pokemon that's rare, but you have to go all the way up here to do that. And then maybe the gym leader's scaled based on your party level or something like that. There will be 120 quests in the game at publish with more for planned DLC. That would be incredible if they did more DLC to add more life to the game months later. Oh, here's a new quest. We've added in a new mythical Pokemon. If you follow 5 quests or you do this massive quest of collecting all these different research stuff, you catch this Pokemon and you find this item and you go get this and you evolve this with this stone and you go report back to this guy. He's gonna do the research and give you the ticket you need to hop on this ferry to go to see some mythical Pokemon. That sounds awesome. I love it. Help it, like some example quests are you help a young kid catch his starter Pokemon, you gain the trust of the local gym leader. Many quests are styled after the classical ideas of chivalrous knights. Quests rewards include access to new areas in the game, TMs, items, HM, tutors, and gym leader battles, so that makes sense. You have to get the quest, you complete the quest, you get your TMs, you get your held items, you get your cool stuff. That way it's not like, oh, I just found soft sand on the beach. It's like, hey, you have to help me catch my, drill burr, and if you help me catch a drill burr, then I'll give you soft sand, you know what I'm saying? Quest rewards include access to the new areas. HM system is the same in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but any Pokemon who can normally learn the old HM is viable. So you don't have to take up a move slot, I think is where that's kind of coming from. Fly removed. Instead of fly, you have tube lines and trains, which I think is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's nice, the convenience of being able to fly from one part of the map to the other, but that takes away a lot of kind of the, I don't know, immersion in a way. So maybe perhaps by removing fly and having trains and tube lines and allowing you to travel around the region that way, that could be cool as long as they're relatively accessible, which it seems like they're pretty ubiquitous, the train line. Several locations where riding your Pokemon is possible, including locations marked for post first 6 gyms. So I don't know if I see any marks with a 4, but I might also be blind. So that's the thing. This map, I feel like there's certain things that they reference in this post that I'm not seeing the numbers, but again, perhaps I'm just blind. So interesting stuff there. So then we're going to talk about the Pokemon and the battle details, and this is kind of the really cool stuff, and I'm going to do a video this week kind of talking about the evolutions and stuff like that of the starters, but for now, let's talk about this. So the Scorbunny evolution chain is based on a soccer player, not a fighting type. That is something that I actually think is very possible. Scorbunny based on a soccer player or a football player. These gyms look like stadiums, and I think there's going to be a heavy theme for football which is a region based in the UK for the Galar region. Grookey Evo chain is based on the Monkey King mythology. I'm honestly not super, up to date on the Monkey King mythology. I'm thinking Grookey's gonna take that little stick out of his hair and he's gonna become a drummer, and he's gonna be like music based. That's my thought. And then so like sports for Scorbunny, Grookey was like music, and then Sobble, I've heard rumors that it was gonna be based on theater. So those are your 3 things. If you remember, a really good example of this is Greninja, Chestnut, and Delphox. So you have the mage, you have the mage slash wizard, the I guess tank slash, I don't know, and then the rogue ninja character. It's like an RPG style theme. So this one I'm thinking is like sports, theater, and music is my guess on the theme, and I've heard other people say that, and that's kind of where I got that. But Saboline is a new concept. I don't know, it looks like a little chameleon dude. But no new types added. That I believe a new dark type status introduced called Fear, which lowers accuracy and removes stab. That is a very original idea, and I love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. A new status. So you have burn, you have poison, you have freeze, you have paralysis, and now you're gonna add in Fear for dark types, which is going to lower accuracy ever so slightly, I'm assuming, but removes their stab attacks. So that's gonna really, that basically reduces power of attacks by roughly 50%, right? Or is it 33%, I guess is what the math would be. I don't know, but instead of Earthquake being 100 base power coming off a Donphan, or instead of being 150 base power coming off a Donphan, it's only gonna be 100 base power because it removes the stab. So anyway, large downscaling of damage in the overall game. I'm not competitive, but I get a feeling they're trying to make changes to the competitive scene. Most core 90 base power moves like Flamethrower get their base power reduced to 75 and 80, so that's very interesting. Eeveelution type not known to me, but indicating that there could be new Eeveelutions. 2 pseudo lines, which are version exclusive, one based on Stonehenge and one based on a Druid concept. Okay. So those pseudo legendaries, one would be based in one game and one would be based in the other. Infernape, Torterra, and Empoleon Mega Evolutions, and Charizardite Z added, which is a Z crystal, and this would indicate that there's going to be new Mega Evolutions. So I found some cool art, I'll put them in the description, but I found this Mega, I don't even know what just happened. This Mega Empoleon concept here, which looks super duper cool. It's a sword and a shield Mega Empoleon, I love it. That is super duper cool. I got this Mega Torterra here as well, which has some cool spiky shields coming out of his back. And then I got this Mega Infernape, which I also thought looked pretty neat. That, I'm digging it, man. I think those could be pretty cool. And then I looked up some Mega Charizard art here, and I found Mega Charizard Z. I don't know quite about that, but nevertheless, still pretty cool stuff. So if they added new Megas, that could be an indication that we could be getting kind of a tie over to Sinnoh or something to that regard. House Shield Legendary is a normal steel armored horse. Very interesting because you see the wolf on the Sword and Shield logo. Now it is possible that that wolf on the Sword and Shield logo does not indicate whatchamacallit, does not indicate the legendary, but maybe it has something to do with something else. Maybe it's the logo that the sword and shields wear, something about, I don't know, maybe there's another Pokemon, but a normal steel armored horse, and then the legendary is a normal steel classical English dragon motif. So interesting that it's normal steel though, which would be, I think, the first time we'll have that typing. Main legendary is based on the concept of wielding both a sword and shield for balance. Okay, so you have the 2 legendaries and then 1 legendary that kind of oversees them, kind of like your, you know, KYOGRE, Groudon, and then Rayquaza. And then main storyline does not complete until post Elite Four, with House Sword and House Shield learning to balance from the legendary encounter. And I'll stick around and answer a few questions, and I don't think they actually did anything there. So that is some pretty interesting stuff, man. Now that we've kind of gone through the whole thing, I'll put, again, all the information in the description below. But some pretty crazy stuff, man. And this is the first leak that I've seen that I'm like, please be real. There's been all sorts of rumors about armor and all sorts of crazy stuff, dude. And I don't know, man. We'll definitely be talking about those as more stuff comes out. Anyone could make a leak like this. Anyone can make rumors like this. Like, I could just type up a bunch of random stuff. But I gotta say, this one's pretty awesome, man. I really like a lot of the ideas here, and I'm really excited to see what is gonna go down in Pokemon Sword and Shield. We should get our first bit of information outside of the starters in about 2 weeks is my guess. If not, probably about a month. But I'm thinking about 2 weeks for Koro. Maybe we'll start to see some sort of teasing going down. But it's gonna be an exciting league season, an exciting time to be alive leading up to the Pokemon Sword and Shield release. Hit that like button down below if you guys are hyped. Show some love, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.